Wow! NFL never fails to make top news. We have breaking news. Trey Lance, that's right, the 49ers promising young quarterback Trey Lance traded to the Dallas Cowboys. And what's even crazier is the compensation for a 4th round pick. Let's break it down. First and foremost, I want to thank you for joining me today on the Mac Sports Attack. I am the Mac himself, Marvin Allen Cox. And Trey Lance, not too long ago, 2 years ago, they traded up for to get him. They traded 3 first-round picks to the Miami Dolphins to jump up and draft Trey Lance. Now, I can't say much about this draft because this is the draft my New York Jets traded Zach Wilson with the number 2 pick just in front of him, and we saw how that went. But this isn't about the Jets today. This is about the San Francisco 49ers. As we know Kyle Shanahan to be a great head coach. We know him as a quarterback whisperer. We know him as if he just had a decent quarterback to work with, he maybe will get over that hump and win that Super Bowl. Because he's been to the Super Bowls. He's had the biggest debacle ever as an offensive coordinator with the Atlanta Falcons. And he had a very, very competitive and interesting game against the Chiefs where Patrick Mahomes really made his name known as they came back and really took that Super Bowl away from Jimmy Garoppolo and Kyle Shanahan. But then he wanted a nice, young, athletic quarterback he can mold into Trey Lance. And that's why they traded 3 first-round picks to move up and get him. And just 2 years later, he's gone. He's traded out the shed, out the house. You have to wonder, is there more we don't know? There was reports that I got from some people that Trey Lance left practice. I don't know how politically correct that information actually was, if it was something that was excused or whatnot. But, it might be trouble in paradise. And it makes you wonder, if the quarterback whisperer can't work with you, if the quarterback whisperer can't get promise out of you, will anybody? That's the big question. So first and foremost, guys, I want y'all to answer in the comments here who won this trade. Because he was traded to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys, to me, looks like a steal. Steals them for a 4th round pick. Why I say it's a steal? Because you're getting a top 5 caliber quarterback prospect-wise talent for a 4th round pick. If he is seen as a bust, that's the 49ers bust. They're just rolling the dice to see what happens. So I think the clear winner of this trade is definitely the Dallas Cowboys. And I just can't fathom why the Niners would do this. Because in Trey Lance's first year, he was the number 2 quarterback. Sat behind Garoppolo. Garoppolo got hurt, as he usually does. And Trey Lance played pretty well. Trey Lance, especially in the first game, with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, looked good. Second game came around. He had a little rougher time, but he looked like a promising quarterback, especially as a rookie who hasn't played much football in his career. He didn't play much in college. As we all know, he was in the FCS instead of FBS, with the Powerhouse Dakota program. And he just didn't play a lot of ball. So we knew that there was going to have to, some kinks they had to work out. There's going to have to be some on-the-job training he had to have before he was a big name. And he just didn't get a chance to have that because of injuries. Because after he had those couple of good games, he indeed got hurt. Strained his knee. So let's not forget, it's not like he had a whole full season to suck and to show promise and to learn. He got hurt. Garoppolo came back, won the job, and he was the backup again. And then way all the way at the end of the season, he got a chance to start again when Garoppolo hurt his thumb. And he showed some promise again. Didn't show that he was, automatically going to be a franchise quarterback. But he made you wonder, he has some skill. He has some talent. You saw that, with a little tuning and on-the-job training, he could be a starter for the Niners. Year 2 comes around, he plays, and gets hurt again. Hurts his ankle again. Has to have a second surgery on that ankle. And we all know how the debacle ended at the end of the season, with quarterbacks going down left and right for the Niners. Brock Purdy coming in, saving the day, but he indeed gets hurt as well, which cost them a Super Bowl berth. But the Niners could have made the Super Bowl. The Niners was a 4th or 5th string quarterback away from being in the Super Bowl. And that's what makes this trade so much worse to me for the 49ers. As last year, they went through, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks towards the end of the season, trying to find something that stick. And, Brock Purdy came out of nowhere. So, yeah, right now, Trey Lance is looking like a horrible draft pick and a horrible trade up. But that might be counteracted by one of the best draft picks ever if Purdy continues to do what he's done. 7th rounder, Brock Purdy. So, the one thing the Niners always had trouble with was quarterback depth. So why would you trade someone on a rookie contract that can increase that depth, right? They got Sam Darnold. Again, I'm a Jets fan. I think he's a bum. But since he's left the Jets, he's learned a little bit, showed a little bit promise, showed that he could be, I guess, a solid backup quarterback, fringe starter. He stole that second backup quarterback job from Trey Lance. And I guess Trey Lance was a little butthurt about that. But hey, that's part of sports. You have to get over it. You train them to get over it. And then if Brock Purdy gets hurt, and then Sam Darnold gets hurt, which both of them have a history of doing, Trey Lance could come in. And you never know. You might coach him up, Kyle Shanahan, the quarterback's whisperer, during the season, and he might show that promise again. So I think this is a horrible time to trade Trey Lance, as he has this upcoming season, which is coming up in 2 weeks' time. We're all excited. And the next season, before you have to think about a 5th-year option, before you have to think about getting him away, the best quarterback pay scale is the rookie quarterback pay scale. And you would have had some great young depth for your team on a rookie contract. And let's say he did come in and save the day sometime in this season. That just boosts his trade value up. So if Purdy is your franchise guy, and if he went down and Trey Lance showed that he has some more promise, you could at least get a 1st-round pick back in that case, a 2nd-round pick in that case. Obviously, we're playing hypothetical now. But a 4th-round pick for someone you spent 3 first-round picks to get is just a lose for me. That's horrible. That's horrible. Let me know, guys, what you think. Because I think this was an idiotic trade for the Niners. You take away what you extremely lacked last year in quarterback depth, and you just throw it away for a 4th-round pick. There's been reports that's come out now that the Bills, the Buffalo Bills, and the Minnesota Vikings were trying to make a trade happen as well. So you had multiple teams competing for this trade, and you could only get a 4th-round pick. I don't get it, guys. Unless there's something about Trey Lance's character or whatnot, I just don't get it. So, breaking news again. Trey Lance traded away from the 49ers for a 4th-round pick to the Dallas Cowboys. Does this start a controversy for quarterback in Dallas? As this whole offseason, everybody's been beating up Mr. Dak Prescott, especially because he's a turnover machine. He's a vending machine of turnovers. He led the NFL in turnovers last year, and in practice, all this preseason, all he's been doing is turning the ball over. So this is a new, fresh start for Trey Lance, of course, because if he competes for that backup quarterback job and wins it, Dak now has fire on his ass to get his act right. Because if you have a 3-turnover game, they might give it to the young kid. perfect trade scenario for the Cowboys as you're putting, pressure under your starting quarterback to make him know you got to get your stuff together. And you have a young player who's hungry now that has a new scene that's wanting to compete and may still turn out to be a great pick. But this worst pick ever conversation, this is worse than Jamarcus Russell. Y'all are trash for that, man. I mean, the kid still is on his rookie contract and has been hurt for the majority of his career so far. And I think now that he's showing that he can be healthy, still has a chance to be okay in this league. So it's way too premature for Jamarcus Russell comparisons. But trade-wise today, the Niners are the losers. Let me know if you agree. Comment, like, and subscribe if you like this video. I again am Marvin Allen Cox, the Mac, and this is the Mac Sports Attack. Thanks for watching. I'm coming to attack you with sports information again soon.